as children, as adolescents, right, growing up, we've been treated as slaves. Now, so number one, what do I mean by we've been treated as slaves as children, and why do we procrastinate because of that? What I mean as treated as slaves, right, as children, is that master and slave relationship is one of the master orders you around. The master doesn't care about your preferences, doesn't care about your feelings. I mean, feelings do matter, preferences matter, but only to the slave master, not to the slave. The slave has no preferences, can't can't really negotiate, can't say no. They just have to do what the slave master tells them to do. Now, I know this is a bit of an extreme example, but I'm trying to illustrate the point is that as children, as we were growing up, the parenting and also in school, how many times were you asked? Think about this. How many times were you asked about your preferences, right? What would you prefer? What would you like? For example, for teachers, did any teacher ever approach you and said, "What style of learning do you learn best? And do you learn best while you're standing? Do you take information more while if you participate, if you're moving around? What better way? What can I do to create a classroom that will be more structured around your unique way of learning? What can I do to make the learning experience, this room that you're in, this classroom, to make it, how do you like to learn?" Growing up as children, we don't really have that preference. No one really asks us about our preferences. It's just, here's what you should do. This is what you should do. We are ordered around. Children are naturally like to take initiative when it comes to certain things. Yeah, children love to be helpful, to add their input, and overall just confident and just like to take initiative. But as we get older, that sense of initiative leaves because we feel a resentment. When you're told what to do, right? When there's that slave master relationship, is one of resentment. The slave holds the master in resentment for being told what to do, giving orders when they don't want to do it. That's why, and again, I'm still using this because I'm trying to illustrate a point. When the slave can't express their feelings, right? Because it's a feeling that you can express, it just manifests itself in different ways. So one way that it manifests itself is in passive aggressive behavior. What would the slave do? The slave obviously can negotiate, can press terms. What does the slave do? Well, what the slave does is that the slave then starts being more incompetent. They'll behave in a more incompetent way, a more inefficient way, right? So the slave will take longer to do things. The slave will do it wrong or do it or make it incomplete. As you get older, since everyone's telling you what to do this, do that, being ordered around your whole life, you start resenting it. There's a resentment at being ordered around and being told what to do by other people, especially those in authority, right? As we're growing up, we have that resentment of, oh man, I have to do this, I have to do that. So there's a resentment around it. And this is the secret right here. This is what I feel is the secret for procrastination, right? Is to know that you can do whatever you want. There's a liberation, there's a freedom in the idea of knowing that you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to go to work. You don't have to go to school. You're not obligated to do anything. Because once you add that, okay, I must do this, I'm obligated to do this, you don't want to do it. When I wake up in the morning, I ask myself, okay, what do I want to do today? The possibilities are infinite because I don't operate in a world of I do what I want. Do I want to do this today? Did I want to do this video? I ask myself, right? Do I want to do this video? Yes, I want to do the video. I want to put this out there. I want to communicate.